Hi yogis, Colleen here, and I am back, this time on my mat, to talk about tech neck and how we can use our necks and find alignment to protect our cervical spine. Now before I get started, I want to draw your attention to the trapezius muscle. The trapezius muscle is a muscle that runs from our neck out to our shoulders and then back in and down further in our spine. And what this muscle allows us to do is to lift our neck. So here, I am using my trapezius muscle. I point this out because a lot of what we're going to do to protect the neck and engage the neck is also going to utilize our shoulders. A lot of the movements we have in the neck are going to have a counter movement in our shoulders. And that's okay. We're not trying to separate these two things. Now, let's get started. I'm going to start in Tandasana, or mountain pose. Now, in Tandasana, when you open up your palms to the front, we're already externally rotating our shoulders, creating space in this chest. Let's try rounding our shoulders. See all the space that my neck had? It's gone. And when I bring my shoulders forward, I'm also kind of bringing my neck forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round my shoulders a bit, but then I'm going to open. And I'm going to feel that lift that just naturally happens as my shoulders open, and feel the space it creates. When we flex our neck, we're limiting space. But when we keep our neck neutral, we have lots of open space. So if it's hard for you to try and find 0 degrees, think instead of trying to create space for our neck. Another thing I want to do is I want to look at crescent moon. So crescent moon is our standing posture where our hands come up and we send our hips one way, send our fingers the other way, and we try and stay in the same plane. We're not trying to go back to twist. We're not trying to come sideways. We're just trying to stay in the same plane. Now, what I like about this for the neck is your ears provide a great guide of where the rest of your body is. So your arms are kind of like an extension of your back here. And if we keep our ears in between our arms, we keep the head and the neck fairly in line with our back and the rest of our spine. From the side. If I were to say, have my head out here, away from my arms, I know I'm flexing my neck. It's not in the same plane. Before I go on, I also want to point out that everyone's anatomy is different. And a lot of us have a natural curve in our cervical spine. This is a good curve. We like this curve. This curve was evolutionarily designed to keep our heads on our bodies. So we aren't trying to eliminate this curve. And when I talk about keeping our spine, neck, and heads in line, I'm not saying to eliminate this curve by tucking in the throat chakra or anything like that. Rather, when I say we want to be in line with our spine, imagine your spine drawing a straight line up, and imagine that line continuing once the thoracic spine turns into the cervical spine. And our skin is allowed to dip away, but eventually our head is going to come back to that imaginary line that the spine continues. Now, let's do an inversion, our good old down dog. Now, in down dog, we don't want to dump our shoulders. We don't want to create this false curve in our back. We want our hips, back, and arms all in one line. Now, it might be natural for you to just let your head fall, but I want to challenge you next time you're in down dog to lift up your head so that if someone were looking at you from the side, they wouldn't be able to see your ears. So, relaxed head, here's where I'm at. Lifting the head, hidden ears. I don't know about you, but I love yoga. And while there's 7 upper limbs, I still do hope to have an asana practice when I am 97. And in order to do that, we have to make some changes now to make our bodies more sustainable in the long run. So, I don't know, accountability partners, whatever, let's just make a pact here that we're going to treat our bodies right now so we can continue treating them right when we're almost 100 years old. As always, the light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.